welcome to an outdoor flow with emphasis on a little bit of back here. So we're going to be staying down on the mat. So if you don't have a mat, you could use a rug or a picnic blanket, whichever you have in the house, or even a towel. But if you can, try and get yourself somewhere outdoors where you can do this. Thankfully the sun is shining for us right now. So when we're doing the stretches through the lower back today and for the upper part of the back, it's really important that you are mindful of your body. So nothing should ever feel painful. If something does feel painful, then please come out of that position, bring yourself into child's pose, or just take the rest and join in when you're ready. So without further ado, what we're going to do is come into child's pose to start with. So bring the big toes together and the knees nice and wide. And when we're doing this, I'm not going to talk too much throughout the session. I want you to focus on your breathing, so inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose if you can. Keeping the breath equal on the inhale and the exhale. So aim for 3 seconds each way, and if that feels really comfortable, try 4 or 5 seconds each way. Alright, into child's pose, big toes together, knees wide, walk these hands out and bring your forehead relaxed down onto your mat. Spread the fingers and just focus on the breath. Sinking the hips onto the heels. Then from here, come into a tabletop position, so hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and we'll take it into cat-cow. So as you inhale, expand the belly towards the floor. Feel the space between the earlobes and the shoulders opening up. Then as you exhale, push away from the floor, round to the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest. And then again, inhale, expand the belly, bringing the eye gaze forward. Exhaling as you push through the floor and round that spine. And just try and let your breath lead your movement here. This just helps to mobilise the spine and just warm up that a little bit more. As you exhale, come into that neutral spine position. Big toes together, knees wide, sink the hips back onto those heels and into your child's pose. Elbows off the floor, arms active, spread the fingers open. Slide the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. Walk your hands over to the left hand side, keep your head in between your hands so you feel that stretch down the right hand side of the body. Into the centre and then over to the other side. And back into the centre. Bring yourself into tabletop position, cross the lower legs behind and roll yourself onto your bosom, or just sweep your legs to one side. Once you've done that, bring yourself lying onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Hands onto the shins, elbows nice and wide, and hold it there. Take your hands onto your right shin, hug the right knee in towards the armpit and extend the left leg out. Hold it there. So again, focus on the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Then bring that left knee in, extend the right leg out. Lifting the toes up towards the ceiling, push the heel away. So we're keeping that right leg active as we draw the left knee up towards the left armpit. And again, keep that foot flexed, the toes are going up and we're pushing the heel away. Hold it there. Hug both knees back in towards the chest. And then all we're going to do is keep the hands on the shins and just do 5 circles round to the right, just really small. And then then once you've done your 5 to the right, take 5 the opposite way. Perfect. Hugging those knees back in, and let's just take a full body stretch. So reach the arms above the head, extend the legs, point the toes away from the body. Big stretch. And release there, hugging those knees in once more. And if it feels good for you, bring your upper body off the floor, bringing the forehead towards the knees, and then relax down. Place your feet flat onto the mat. Feet hip distance apart, and then just shift your hips over to the right hand side a few inches. Option with the arms, you can either cactus the arms or take the arms out in line with the shoulders, whichever you feel more comfortable with. So we've shifted our hips to the right, we're going to drop both knees over to the left hand side and just take a spinal twist here. Focus on the breath, inhale and exhale. Next exhale, bring your legs back into the centre, shift your hips into the centre, then over to the left hand side, and then when you're ready on the exhale, drop the legs over to the right. Play about with the arms, try them out long, see how that feels. Just see if you prefer to practice. Aiming to keep both your shoulder blades in contact with the floor. Bring the knees back into the centre, reset the hips in the middle, hug those knees in. Good stuff. Just bring your legs up into the air so your shins are parallel towards the sky. And we're going to take your right leg over your left leg and just cross them over. And then from here, grab on to your shins and hug your knees in towards your chest. Option, bring your hands onto the back of your legs, onto your hamstrings, and use the pull from here. Again, keeping the feet active, so we're lifting the toes, pushing the heels away, holding there. Aiming to have the shoulder blades relaxed onto the mat rather than hunching forward. Necks in line with the spine. So we're going to take the left foot, place that onto the mat. And then from here, we're going to drop our legs over to the left hand side. So again, cactus the arms or arms out wide. Feet are still active, so we're lifting the toes, pushing the heel away. Again, a deeper stretch into the lower back now, and just hold it there for a few breaths. Again, if this feels uncomfortable or painful in any way, bring yourself back out of that position. And you can come into the previous spinal rotation that we've just done. Release back into the centre, hug those knees in, uncross, give them a bit of a hug, lift the shoulders, lift the chest, and release. Okay, crossing the left leg over the right this time. Set your position, hold on to those shins, draw the knees in towards the body. Remember the option to hold around the back of the hamstrings if you wish is there. And then from here, drop your right foot onto the floor, and then we lower and twist over to the right hand side. Choose your hand position. Focus on that breath. So we're aiming to hold each position for 5 breaths. You can always hold for longer or less, depending on how it feels for you. And then bring it back into the centre, uncross those legs, give them a hug, and let's take a full stretch out. Extend the legs, point the toes away, reach the arms away. And then bring those legs up once more. Shins parallel towards the sky. Right ankle below the left knee. Again, flex the foot, lift the toes, push the heel away. Bring the hands through onto the hamstring of the left leg and just draw the legs inward. Open it up through the right hand side. Hold it there. And then just release your arms, cactus or out wide, whichever you prefer. Now again, we're going to drop our legs over to the left hand side. So your right foot is going to go in full contact with the ground. So drop them over and hold it there. So make sure you've got the four corners of your right foot fully onto the ground. Your knee might want to collapse downward, so what I want you to really focus on is lifting and opening the hip. So your knee's going parallel, pointing up towards the sky, not parallel, sorry, pointing up towards the sky. Your left leg is bent, and your left foot, again, you're lifting the toes and you're pushing the heel away. Arms can be cactus or out wide, you choose. Focus on the breath. And then we're going to release back into the centre, bring those legs up, uncross, and let's take the left ankle below the right knee. Hands onto your right hamstring, draw the leg in. Lift the toes of the left foot, push the heel away. You might find that you're tighter on one side than the other, and that's perfectly normal. We always tend to have that because we might have a stronger side and a more flexible side. So if you find that you're tighter on one side, what I would suggest is spending a little bit longer on the side that's tighter, just to give it a bit more time to release. So pick your option, cactus the arms or arms out wide. Drop the left foot onto the floor, fully onto the floor. And then just be aware that this knee might start to collapse downwards, so we want to draw up and point the knee up towards the ceiling. Your right foot underneath this time, lift the toes, push the heel away, and hold it there. And release back into the centre, uncross the legs, give them a hug in, leave the chest off the floor, and then just extend the legs out, full body stretch out. Reach the arms, reach the legs away. And release. Knees back in. Pop your feet onto the mat this time. Walk your feet to the outside edges of your mat. Keep that space in between the legs as you drop your legs over to the left hand side. Option one, you can stay here, or if it feels good, lift that left leg up and just place the foot above the right knee, and this will just draw that right hips down just a little bit more, and you'll get a bit of a deeper stretch and through the back into the sides of the body. Now if you find this is really uncomfortable, again, take that leg off. If it's not for you, don't force it, just decide what feels good for you. So it might feel a little bit challenging, a little bit uncomfortable, but never painful. I should have put my sunglasses on because every time I open my eyes the sun's glaring down. Shouldn't complain because it's nice with the sunshine. Back into the centre with those legs, just uncross, bring them up. A bit of a wriggle to reset. And then drop the knees over to the right hand side, and then your option again, you can bring that right foot above the left knee and hold it there. A few breaths. And release the foot away, bring the legs back into the centre, hug those knees in. Good stuff. Okay, now we're going to roll onto our side. So onto your right hand side first. And we're going to take the spinal rotation to the upper part of the back. So all I want you to do is bring your shoulders in line with your hips, and then from there draw the knees up so the knees are in line with your hips, and then your knees are in line with your ankles, are in line with your knees. So we're all the way up. Your arms, extend them out in front, palms one on top of each other, and just let your head relax down on your mat. Option, if you have a block or a cushion or a pillow, you can lay your head on that if you prefer that option. So all we're going to do from here is just lift that left arm up and reach it up towards the ceiling, and then bring it back down to meet the right palm. And again, take it a little bit further this time, let your eyes follow the thumb, and back. And again. This time we're going to hold the position. So when we take the left arm up, we exhale, Let your eye gaze follow your thumb and hold it there. Again, if you have a block or a pillow or a cushion, you can place that under the forearm just to give you that little bit of support if that hand isn't quite reaching the floor. We want to keep the hips facing forwards towards the screen. A few more breaths here. And as you exhale, bring the palms back together. If you spin yourself onto the other side, I'm just going to flip round just so I'm staying facing forwards. So we'll set our position, shoulders in line with the hips. Draw the knees up, they become in line with the hips, and then the ankles in line with the knees. One palm on top of the other, your right arm's on top this time, and just take your movement up and bring it down. Bring that a little bit further this time. One more. And then this time we're going to take it all the way up and over, and then just hold our position. Making sure that we're keeping the hips facing forward, so we're stacking the hips right on top of the left. And on your next exhale, bring that arm all the way round. Push your right palm onto the mat, roll yourself up onto your tabletop position, big toes together, knees wide, sink it into that child's pose. And just come up ever so slightly, bring your knees in a little bit closer together, bring yourself back down, sinking the hips to the heels into child's pose. But this time bring your hands onto your heels and allow your shoulders just to fall around your thighs. Taking your time, come up onto your knees. You can stay on your knees, or if you prefer, sit with your legs crossed. Or as my little one says, sit with your legs in the basket. Hold it there. Take an inhale. Palms together and exhale. Well done everybody, hope you enjoyed that. And if you have a little bit more time, you can relax on your mat and just focus on your breath for 5 to 10 minutes. Allow your eyes to close over, soften your gaze, palms facing up towards the ceiling, and take that time just to switch off, unwind and relax. And we'll see you soon.